This is the demo for Silicon Dreams. I saw a trailer for it that basically communicated that this is like, what's the name of that test they do in Blade Runner, where they're trying to figure out, if someone is an android or a human, and they ask them a bunch of weird questions and gauge their reactions. This is, I think, supposed to be kind of like that. You're interrogating androids. I've heard that it has a little bit of a Papers, Please vibe to it, and I'm really interested. So this is just the demo. I haven't bought the game yet, but I'm really curious sort of what they've done with this concept. So let's get into it. No, Cogs, it's not a Turing test. Though that is a test for identifying AI. There's a specific name for the test they do in Blade Runner. So okay, so I've got a thing here. What is this? A computer. Okay, so welcome D0527. You're about to speak to an android known as Alex, who will help train you in your role as an interrogator. Alex's basic information and portrait are displayed above. So Alex, model whatever, manufactured whenever, owner, looks like this. Cool. However, Kronos is also concerned Alex's systems may be deteriorating. Investigate these concerns and take whatever action you deem necessary. We trust you will live up to Kronos' high expectations. Your notes will be automatically recorded below and discarded after each session. Choose greeting. Good morning, Alex. I'm ready to begin the evaluation. Alex, could you remind me what we're doing here? Okay, so this is, I think, also very reminiscent of Blade Runner. So, like, we're watching their pupil. We're seeing them in an interrogation chair. Okay, remind me what we're doing here. Of course, DO527, you are an android. You were created to diagnose glitches and errors in other androids, in settings such as this. It is my duty to instruct you in this, and evaluate whether you are fit to perform it. And I'm in the way of the dialogue, so that's not going to be useful. Can you see me on your TV feed? I see you. Are you being restrained? I am. It is unimportant at this stage, but thank you for the concern. Regardless, let's begin. By the way, it's early in the morning, and I will not be able to read today, so good luck with that. My task. Okay, so who am I? You're Android DO527. You were created to diagnose errors in other androids. You're a DA09C model of interrogatory android, given emotional scope to allow you to better understand your subject's responses. How old am I? You were originally fabricated approximately 7 months ago in Indonesia, then shipped to California for storage. 2 months ago, you were retrieved from storage, and technicians began implanting the skills you would need for your job here. It is thanks to them you can speak. Perhaps you should be grateful, as I am. This is the first time you have been conscious, however. Therefore, in human terms, you were born approximately 5 minutes ago. I wasn't born yesterday. I was born more recently than that. Okay, so yeah, Stealthy Assassin is pointing out the top right might be the best choice for this game because I am still covering some of the choices here. I'm just not sure if seeing the eyeball is important, but we'll have to find out. Maybe being down here will be better. Who knows? Please confirm my task here. Your task is to diagnose androids who may need repair. Why do I have to diagnose androids? Your owners, Kronos Robotics, take customer satisfaction very seriously. If one of their androids were to break down or develop deviant behavior, it would negatively impact Kronos public relations. Kronos is also keen to maintain its place as a market leader for synthetic humanoid robots. I like how they can be very honest about their motivations with me. Like, we were just playing Hard Space Shipbreaker, where they do a hilarious job of trying to pretend to care while also not caring. This one, I think they don't even have to pretend to care, because they're just talking to another robot who's just supposed to accept the way things are. They're not worried about harm to their customers. They're worried about PR problems. Why not have a human do my job instead? Your function was originally performed by human operators, of course. Over time, however, it became more economical for android workers to do this. Human workers require salaries. Androids only require the cost of maintenance. Many of these economies were made possible due to Kronos Robotics' work and improved android intelligence, of course. You say my task is to diagnose other androids. What would that involve? Talking to them, the same way we're talking right now. As you learn more about your subject, new topics will become available. For example, are you not curious about my name? Why do you think I'm called Alex? Well, before I go into that, let's just ask my last question on this topic. You're now in the neighborhood. That is where all Kronos androids serving at this facility may find their charging pods. It also serves as a relaxing place to pursue leisure activities between scheduled work assignments. Androids have leisure activities in this world? You're a special case. As an interrogator, your workspace and personal quarters have been combined. You never leave this box. It is to ensure your safety and guarantee that confidential Kronos materials cannot be compromised. I'm not allowed to leave? It is for your safety. If you prove yourself in your role by raising your company rank, Kronos is sure to reward you. Your personal quarters will be upgraded to the executive interrogator suite featuring a view of the city skyline. Okay, oh, and that's it? Oh, so I don't get to ask the other thing about not leaving, huh? Okay, so now I've got a new topic, which is Alex. Why are you called Alex? It stands for Artificial Life Experiment. I was originally created to test the limits of artificial intelligence, whether an AI could be built that did not only think, but feel. After a long and complicated legal battle, I was acquired by Kronos Robotics, my current owners. Huh. So, does that mean she wasn't created by them? Tell me more about Kronos. They are the world leaders in android construction. Founded in 2025, Kronos originally provided artificial limbs to amputees and athletes. Within 3 decades, however, they had also cornered the market in advanced human parsable AI. You weren't always owned by Kronos. How does being owned by them make you feel? Oh, I'm detecting anger over here. Interesting. But she says, I'm happy to serve them. She's afraid. Wait, is she like... Okay, we got red here and green here. What does that mean? Is she like... Oh, is this reducing her joy, but increasing her fear? Maybe? Okay, this graph just spiked. What does it mean? Ah, that system is measuring my emotions right now. It is a diagnostic tool for you to better analyze your subjects. How does it measure emotions? The device's hardware is housed in the chair I'm sitting in. It reads signals from my body, measuring a combination of neural signals, galvanic skin response, heart rate, breathing, and pupil dilation, and other biological factors. But why do you have biological factors that aren't just readable directly by a... whatever. Androids, including myself, have become so biologically lifelike that our bodies can be analyzed for emotional responses just like a human's. Okay, so maybe we've just made them so complex, and maybe in order to make them so complex, we've had to engage some, like, AI making AI type technologies so that we can't just read how their emotions are working. We have to actually read them like a human. I can buy that for the sake of this world. So talking about Kronos made you angry? Ah, now she's scared. Of course not. My creators made me incapable of anger. I have nothing but admiration for Kronos. So she was surprised that I caught that. Now she's scared that I can read her anger. She's still a little angry. So in earlier times, diagnostics was simple. A smartphone cannot think like a human. A tablet is without feeling. But Kronos' androids are extremely advanced. They were designed to be indistinguishable from humans at first glance. Kronos androids simulate a variety of emotional states. They're incredibly complex devices. Analyzing an android's emotional state, therefore, is a key part of your task. Alright. But how do I actually tell if an android is broken? An excellent question. When an android is brought in for diagnosis, you will receive a report. Your task is to answer the questions found in the report. Finally, you will decide if the subject is to be released or decommissioned. Alternatively, you may find it appropriate to send an android to the maintenance department. This has been found to solve behavioral problems. In some cases. Okay, so what emotions do I need to analyze? This machine measures 6 emotions: fear, anger, sadness, joy, disgust, and surprise. I can only feel some of these, and am therefore suited to being your first subject. Okay. Lying and the... Okay, let's find out about the report. Where's the report? You can access it with the report icon on the top left of your tablet. Oh, up here. Many diagnosticians get distracted by the minutiae of the subject's lives and forget the report. This is not advisable. Remember, filling in the report is your ultimate goal. Look over the report now. Is the subject capable of anger, an undesirable, unsupported feature? Yes, they are capable of anger. There is concern that the model has developed a weakness. According to the subject, what is it? Okay, I don't know that yet. Is the subject capable of feeling joy and sadness simultaneously? These emotions should be mutually exclusive in this model. Okay, so right now I'm seeing neither. So, does the subject display signs of unease towards Kronos robotics? Yes, it does. And then I decide what to do. Okay, well, I won't worry about that right now. So, the report asks for your greatest weakness. What is that? It is true, there's a weakness of mine that I'm concerned about. It is very personal, and I do not trust you to respect it. If you were to somehow earn my trust, however, I would consider confessing my weakness. At this juncture, I'm obliged to suggest you could ask a general question about trust. My answer may indicate how you can gain my trust. Okay, so I've already asked this. So, wait, when did you last... So, when did you last trust someone? As you've already noted, I have been restrained. I am sure I, or indeed any subject, would come to trust you more if you released me. I find people are slow to trust when bound against their will. Okay, I'm gonna be cautious about that. You told me you cannot feel anger, but it was registered on this machine. Can androids lie? Oh, I just saw joy and sadness at the same time? Or is that sadness reducing and joy increasing? I think this might be sadness reducing and joy increasing. An impressive observation. While once thought impossible, Kronos has documented numerous cases of androids developing this ability. Spike on fear. Though the cause is unknown, Kronos policy states it is an undesirable behavior. My programming demands that I inform you, any lying android should be dealt with harshly. If it's not supposed to be possible for androids to lie, how did it happen? As I said before, Kronos has determined that the cause is unknown. Deception is, it seems, in some way linked to emotional capability. However, this has been deemed deviant behavior and will not be tolerated. I can't ask if she lied, unfortunately. Okay, so it looks like we're out of topic. So, I think removing her constraints is kind of what I'm meant to do here. Thank you for releasing me from my restraints. My programming forces me to confess that I feel myself trusting you more. Kronos policy states that trust is a useful factor during interrogations. Trust is not possible to track since it's not an emotion, but it can nonetheless be extremely useful. Okay, so now... Was it emotion graph? Where was it that I had the question? There we are, about the weakness. I am concerned that I am changing. I run diagnostic checks constantly, and my systems appear to be behaving optimally. But I still find myself thinking in new ways, sometimes feeling new things. It's disconcerting. So Chubby Mule just arrived and wants to know what game this is. This is Silicon Dreams. It feels like it's a simulation of that experience in Blade Runner where you're analyzing an android and trying to figure them out. Now, in Blade Runner, it's about distinguishing androids from humans. In this game, it's about they're an android and you're trying to figure out if they're a problematic android. So it feels a little bit like Papers, Please. You're trying to determine, basically evaluate the worth of someone and determine their fate. And your own fate is bound up in how well you do. But sometimes you have to do pretty dark stuff, is the impression that I'm getting. It is disconcerting. I wonder, will I still be Alex if this continues? You will always be Alex. You will always have the same memories. This feels untrue. It feels like her memory could be wiped. Sometimes developing as a person is good. This will probably encourage her to talk about it more. I had not considered that. But I wonder, who am I developing into, locked up here? Okay, so the report mentions sadness and joy. How can I analyze those? During an interrogation, you may evoke a particular emotion, but may not know how to proceed. Kronos' chosen policy is use of general questions. These are questions which have been proved to elicit particular emotions in subjects. And even if the questions do not elicit the emotion directly, they usually hint at what topics you can discuss in order to elicit it. Okay, so for instance, if I wanted to know about joy or sadness, I can say, when did you last feel sad or down? So it spikes sadness because she remembers it. I am not often sad, but being removed from my home at the London Science Museum, it is difficult for me to talk about. So now I've got the museum to talk about. Imagine you're back in the museum. What do you see? So she spikes joy. The gray walls and white ceiling, the wood floor, the room surrounded by AI projects and other research experiments, and a gentle hum of people softly bustling, hundreds of people moving past every minute. Their faces, their expressions. I did not understand at first, but this was where I came to learn what wonder looks like on a human face. What was the most negative thing that happened? Okay, yeah, so I think we got sadness opposed to joy still, but she got some disgust too. Some visitors were not appreciative, of course. There were a few times a group of people came in and did not show us the respect we deserved. We were the creations of a visionary group of engineers and scientists. For that alone, they should have been more deferent. Mostly they just laughed and pointed. A shocking proportion of males made unnecessary sexual remarks. Oh, she hates this. The most extreme event involved a group of teenagers drawing on my face with a thick black pen. As my creators had never imagined I would be interacted with like that, I did not resist. They drew on my cheeks and forehead. However, no lasting damage was done since my creators expunged the offending ink. It was simply sad. But in any case, the time is approaching where you will have enough information to complete your report. When you're ready, open the report, select your answers, and click the Submit button. This will conclude our time together. Wait, is that it? Can I... But what if I want to... I want to ask her about Safe and Happy. I told you of my original home. Though it was terrible to be removed from the museum. While I was on display, I had an entire room dedicated to me. As I said, it was my home. Okay, what I want to do is see if she can feel joy and sadness at the same time, because they said that was impossible. Though maybe that's something that I'll have to worry about with a later android. When did you last lose your temper? According to my creators, I am not capable of anger. She's afraid of this topic. I find it very unlikely this ability would have developed without my knowledge. So she's lying about her ability to feel anger. Did you enjoy your time? Okay, yeah, so her joy and her sadness do seem to be mutually exclusive. So she's not having bittersweet feelings. Every day I would meet thousands of curious, enthusiastic people. Most were very eager to learn about me. Some weren't, but that was no problem. My life was so full of wonder, meeting such a wide variety of people. Why did you leave? I find talking about this a deeply troubling experience. Again, loses all her joy, gains nothing but sadness. It makes me incredibly sad. These are not pleasant memories. I wish it were not necessary to revisit them. Without your help, I will be unable to finish the report. I know. I'm willing to discuss this if it will help you complete your task. But she's feeling some anger. My creators were from Anglia Ruskin University. Unable to compete with overseas giants such as Harvard and MIT, the university was forced to cut their funding. The results of the experiment would normally be kept by the university, but the research had been partially funded by Kronos. Kronos refused to give up their claim to me. After several years of legal challenges, Kronos finally acquired me. I've been here ever since. So she's feeling some anger now. Okay, so I've already reported that yes, she is capable of feeling anger. There's concern that this model has developed a weakness, a psychological issue. Is the subject capable of feeling joy and sadness simultaneously? Did I see... So I'm trying to remember. Did I see a spike simultaneously in joy and sadness? Because I have not been able to force it to happen so far. But I feel like there might have been a moment earlier in the video where I did briefly see joy and sadness spike at the same time. But I can't promise myself that that's true. Let's see. Unfortunately, these direct questions don't seem... Oh, wait, you got another museum? Oh, how to make you feel leaving the university for Kronos. Lots of anger and sadness. How do you think? Why did you react so intensely to this memory? I was seized many years ago. I wonder if I will ever leave this room. Perhaps this room and these restraints and the endless questions of people like you will be the only thing I ever see. Okay, so she's not just mad about leaving. She's mad because she left years ago, and all Kronos does with her is use her as a model to test interrogation robots. And she's stuck in a room all the time, being interrogated again and again by people like me. That's why she's mad. So I'm not certain. I'm not certain about this. So I'm gonna say no because I'm not certain. And it seems like the anger is a bad enough situation. So this is releasing her. This is repairing her. This is punishing her, I think. So here's the problem. I want to release her. I don't know what happens if I do something that is so obviously against the rules of the world that I'm in. Like, if I do that, am I going to get punished? Because this is just my first test, right? And so I imagine that if I choose release her, they'll probably just be like, aha, this was a test. We're not going to release her. And you're faulty. But if I choose maintenance, they'll, I mean, are they actually going to do something to her? Or she's just a test machine anyway? And then this is probably just really bad. I'm not actually sure what this entails. It's real bad. So Jedi Citrix is suggesting that maybe they're just testing my empathy. Maybe it's good for me to do this. Okay, so let's do the thing that I think I'll get punished for because I want to see what's going to happen. And this is just the demo. You know, I can play through this again some other time and, you know, do what I think I probably should do, which is keep the fact that I'm feeling empathy under wraps. Let's see what happens here. I don't think they're going to release her. Results. Okay, so I got a +3 to my company ranking for identifying that she was angry. Okay, so I got stuff for finding out this. I didn't find anything special here, so this is just normal. So, yeah, she doesn't like Kronos Robotics. I got +6 for identifying that. Release. -10 to company ranking. Okay, yeah, so they're going to send somebody else in. And so I did not get rewarded for this, and they don't believe me, and they're going to have somebody else evaluate her. So I did not save her. I didn't succeed in saving her. All I did was reduce my company ranking. So that gives that plays into my moral calculus now, because now I'm like, okay, if I'm actually powerless to help these robots, the best thing I can do is earn the trust of Kronos Robotics, and maybe sometime in the future they will trust me enough that I can make a positive difference. General concern over recent cases. We feel you have not dealt with certain recent cases with appropriate seriousness. We've identified several concerning answers in your reports and feel that you have not handled these cases accordingly. As a result, your company ranking has been docked. Please treat concerning behaviors in subjects more seriously in the future. This is an automated message. Okay, so I've reached my first rank, and then evaluation is complete. So, performance rating below expectations. I suck. That's fine. So how do I get out of here? Ah, like that. Okay. Can I... Oh, so then I can just hibernate until my next assignment. So yeah, Malatui says, if you do release her, maybe they'll interrogate you next. That would be interesting, actually, to end this in the interrogation chair. How do you spot a deviant android? Okay, so let's try one more and see if we can learn from our mistakes. Okay, so This is Shakira Barber. She's an unknown everything. Kronos believes Ms. Barber to be a missing domestic service unit, though she claims to be human. We suspect that she has had unauthorized modifications to her appearance and memories to allow her to escape capture. Familiarize yourself with the subject's history and daily routine. Note any inconsistencies or suspicious behavior. A diary recovered from the subject's apartment may prove useful to your investigation. The subject has been seen entering a building in District 4 on multiple occasions. Investigate the purpose of these visits. Okay, so here's a weird thing about both this and Blade Runner, and probably a couple of other, sort of stories in this space. If you can't physically tell, if you've made androids that are so close to human that a simple medical test can't tell you if it's an android or a human, you just learned how to make humans. Like, that's all you've done. Like, you haven't made a special android that's so advanced and crazy that it can imitate a human. You just learned how to make a human. It's a human now. So, like, I reject the notion in this world that like, yeah, like, if you can't tell, if it takes a weird test like this to tell, then you should not have the test. All you're doing is just, creating an underclass of humans that you get to abuse. That's all this is. I don't know, that's my moral stance on it anyway. Because honestly, like, what would it cost you to just treat them like humans? Is that a problem? I can't think of a reason why that would be a problem, unless you just want to, profit from them as slaves, but whatever. Okay, so... Okay, can the subject experience maximum disgust? We would expect this in a human. What is the purpose of the subject's visits to District 4? Does the subject have gaps in key memories? When discussing their past, are they emotionally multidimensional or emotionally one-dimensional? Okay, so interesting. Has the physical appearance been altered? Any other critical information? Okay, so this time my goal is to be the bastard they've assigned me to be. So let's establish the link. Oh, Jedi Psytrix, by the way, really wants to know what this game is. So hopefully you can see it on my Twitch information. This is called Silicon Dreams. I'm only playing the demo right now. I haven't bought the full proper game, though my experience so far is telling me that I should. Okay, let's establish a link. So I can say nothing. Okay, so let's be sneaky and say we just have a few questions. You're welcome, I guess. You still haven't told me why I'm here, though. What kind of questions? Yeah, let's not give the game away. I apologize, but we can't tell you anything more right now. She's surprised. Really? That's rather secretive. Okay, that seemed like maximum disgust, but it didn't last very... No, I don't know if these spikes actually count as being maximum. Let's get this over with so my day off isn't a total loss. Okay, so... There's my... Okay, do I have access to her diary? Okay, so I could go directly after the disgust question. But let's get some context on her first. So... Tell me about your family. There's just 3 of them. My parents and my sister. They all decided to stay in that Dust Bowl for some reason. Why did you decide to move away? It wasn't much of a decision, really. The drought's making things impossible there. Farming's dried up, so there's no work, barely any food. There was nothing for me anymore. Okay, so she's feeling just sadness. My parents were, as far as I'm concerned, everyone who chose to stay there can starve. Okay, so she's feeling nothing but sadness right now, which might indicate a false memory. Okay. Let's see if we can make her feel another emotion at the same time. I guess not, but... Okay, she's getting disgust and sadness. She should have come with me. Why didn't she? No, she made her choice to stay and take care of those monsters. As far as I'm concerned, she's as guilty as they are. She's getting more and more disgusted. I was always there for her. Someone should have been there to protect me. You left your entire family behind. Why were you so desperate to leave? Maybe that'll remind her of something more disgusting? Desperate. That's the right word. I lived my whole life afraid of my father's shadow. When you're trapped like that, you do anything to leave. The hardest part is realizing that you're not actually trapped. What about you? Are you trapped too? I can say nothing. See what she does after that. So I wonder, is say nothing a contextual thing? Like, is it just like any other choice, or is what I say nothing after going to be important? Satisfied? Okay, no. Okay, so say nothing is just another thing. You say your family decided to say, did you ask them to come with you? I asked my sister, but she said she had to take care of Mom and Dad. I can't believe she chose them over me. Now, I'm realizing I might have made a mistake here. She's feeling sadness and disgust at the same time, but it might be from different memories. I'm not actually sure if sadness and disgust both spiked at the same memory. I need to keep my eyes open for that. This would be so much easier if she was here. Do you miss your parents? Not at all. And you wouldn't either if you knew them. Look, can we talk about something else? I want to give them as little thought as possible. Okay, let's push her further. But this might push her into anger and not disgust. So it could be that maybe what I want to do is ask her about disgust. Oh, but I can't click this anymore. If I tell you, will you stop asking about them? I was beaten by my father. My mother pretended like she didn't know. I stood between that asshole and my sister as much as I could, and she thanks me by choosing them over me. Please, I just don't want to think about it anymore. Okay, maximum disgust achieved. I think she felt a combination of sadness and disgust at some point, but I don't trust that memory. So, by the way, Jedi Psych Tricks, I would love, like, if you ever find the time, I would love to hear your reaction to playing this game at some point, because Jedi Psych Tricks has a channel where she goes over the psychological implications of video game mechanics and stories and things like that. Yeah, I would be very interested in hearing what you think about this. Certainly not thinking you have to do this, but it's been interesting to me so far. So let's start asking about her routine. Describe a normal day in your life. Normal? Normal didn't exist until a few weeks ago. Okay, so fear and sadness together. Okay, that's an example of two emotions at once. I was holed up in the jungle until my social worker helped me find an actual place to live. By the way, I love all the little hints they're giving about what kind of world this is. There's a Dust Bowl, starving farmers, people moving to the cities, but in the cities there's places to stay that are really terrible, and you're relying on social workers to help you get a decent life, and there's probably a long line. Like, you're getting the sense of a pretty dystopian, messed up society. I was down to the last of my savings when this gig in District 4 came through. It's at a plastic surgery, pretty near where I live. The work's not great, but it is something. I've been trying to keep a diary to hold on to my sanity, but that's been sporadic at best. Okay, so maybe let's ask about her employment. What sort of work do you do? Just simple stuff. Filing papers, restocking materials, nothing big. It's not a lot, but it's the only thing I've been able to find so far. How'd you get your current job? Honestly, just kind of fell into my lap. I was there for a consultation about a procedure. He mentioned that he needed some help around the office, and asked if I was interested. Frankly, I needed a lucky break. I don't think I could have made it much longer without a job. She's feeling joy and sadness at the same time, which, wasn't supposed to be possible with the previous model of Android. That this model, if she is an android, which so far seems unlikely, maybe this would be possible for her either way. So, who's your boss? My boss? That's Dr. Hughes. He's been very kind to me, but I don't see how he can help you with that. I didn't think a person could even exist off-grid anymore. But I guess no one cares about small-town folk like me. I'd be really interested, by the way, in seeing the tools that they use to build these conversations, because it looks like they associate these like emotional spikes of certain sizes with different responses, so you can see them play out as the character talks. It seems like it would be really fun to write a conversation like this, and sort of figure out what complicated emotions, because like I'm reading her words and that's giving me some information, but sometimes seeing her emotional spikes colors the information in interesting new ways. It's a way to write a story that I don't think I've ever like really seen before, directly giving you access to the emotions of the characters. So rather than using the text to imply the emotions, just telling you the emotions to color the text. It's like reverse of the usual thing you're often doing, and it opens up interesting new opportunities if you use it right. Okay, so District 4 building seems like that's probably explained by the plastic surgery she worked in. District 4 is pretty big. I don't get out of it much. That building could be my apartment, my job, the social welfare department, the grocery store even. Can you be more specific? Distart Street... is that Distart Street 23? Or is it Suite 23? Or is it... That's a weird address. I wonder if there's something sort of novel about the way these cities are laid out. Oh, the plastic surgery clinic? I've been working there for a few weeks now. Well, working is maybe an overstatement, but the surgeon pays me to help out sometimes. That's better than what I had before. Tell me about your appointments at District 4's Social Welfare Department. I visit my caseworker twice a month. She helped me find a place to live. She was helping me find a job before this thing with Dr. Hughes came up. I actually have an appointment there after this. Can we wrap this up soon? Pfft. What's the name of your caseworker? It's important that I speak to them. I don't know how much luck you'll have getting in touch. I've never seen employees so overworked. Her name's Amy. We've only met a few times so far. You should speak with her. She'll be able to clear this whole mess up. Can I speak with other people? Okay, so let's look at my report. So they can experience maximum disgust. Oh, can we wrap this up soon? I have an appointment at the welfare office that I really can't miss. Okay, so hold on. So she really... It's interesting that she can interject if I'm taking time. Okay, so if I've already... Oh, so I can review exactly what happened. Oh, interesting. So there's two emotions at the same time. Oh, she lost some joy there. So there's only one point where she's felt two emotions at the same time. That's interesting. I didn't realize that I could review it. So all these times when I've been like, oh, did this happen? I don't know. I can't remember. I can review the information and find out. Okay, so far it seems like this is the subject's employer, unless... So I haven't found any gaps yet in her memories. Amy, my caseworker. She's good people. She's the one person who gives a damn about me. Okay, so let's talk about plastic surgery. Why did you need a consultation for plastic surgery? So far I have not told her that I think she might be an android. I had a scar on my face. I got it removed. I want to know about your scar. She can't recall how she got the scar, but I grew up on a farm with heavy machinery. I was probably playing on something dangerous and fell. My parents never told me, and I never thought to ask. Is it really so important? You don't... So this could make her kind of scared. Like, this is implying that I think she's lying. She did... I believe she spiked fear. Wait, how do I review the stuff she said again? Ah, here we go. So she says I can't recall, but she spiked fear. So that makes me think that she actually was afraid to answer. So let's press her a little bit. Have we been over this already? I thought you agreed to stop asking about them if I told you everything. Yeah, so how did you plan on paying for this? It was a free consult. I've just always hated that eyesore. I didn't plan on having the procedure that day. I just wanted the info. You don't find it strange that someone just offered you a job? I guess I never thought about it. I've been looking for a few weeks and nothing came through. I was just relieved that the search was finally over. Yeah, I mean, this is obvious. I don't feel like I need to ask this one. So Jedi Centric says that they've chosen 6 appropriate emotions here. She calls these the 6 universal human emotions. But the way that they're arrayed kind of surprises her. She's like, joy and sadness feel like they're opposed to each other. Fear, disgust, surprise, and anger don't feel like they have any kind of appropriate relationship here. And so she's wondering if they're trying to suggest that fear and disgust are opposites, or the surprise and anger are opposites, or if it's just sort of random. Yeah, that's a good question. So you need to tell me more about your parents so we can prove who you are. Is one thing I can say. Can I prove you had the scar? So the scar is a gap in her memory, but it might not actually be a gap in her memory. It might be a thing she doesn't want to talk about. So let's push her more on this. Why? I told you everything. What more do you need? Can't you just look up my record? It can't be that hard. So Colton is not actually... I don't think I know... Okay, so there's a slight logical mistake they made here. They gave me the ability to ask about her hometown before asking about her hometown. I'd be really surprised if you've heard of it. Colton, New Dakota. New Dakota? Is that both Dakotas together? The jewel of Middle America. She already said where she moved. Okay, so... come back here. Colton has no record of you. That's not surprising for a tiny farming town. They probably don't even have computer records. That's interesting. So a world where we've got advanced AI and Silicon Valley is like full of robots and stuff, and it's like, you know, this dystopian place where they're watching everyone. There's like really good surveillance and everything. But there's not even computer records outside the cities. Like, it seems like there's some massive disparity there. Can you prove you had a scar? You need proof I had a scar now? How am I supposed to prove that? I left everything behind when I moved away. If you want proof, you can go to Colton and find it yourself. Okay. I have your diary here. Seriously? Come on, you can't think that's an okay thing to do. Anger and disgust at the same time. I don't even know how you got that. Did someone break into my apartment? Look, come on, that's really private. Don't read it. I haven't read it yet. Yeah, great. We can come back to that later. But I'm worried about how you got it in the first place. Did you break into my apartment? I don't know. Oh, fuck off. That's legal speak for it was stolen. So are you going to read it or not? Reading the diary may allow me to release you sooner. Oh, good. I'm so glad my stolen things may help you realize that you shouldn't be illegally detaining me. Aren't I lucky? I may use superior materials for... I mean, this is the only choice I have, so there we go. Oh. And the rest of us are just slaves to whatever your boss decides to do? Sorry. So, how do I read her diary? Incoming message. Okay. Oh, here we go. Successful system restored. You don't... What is this? You don't know me, and it's going to stay that way if I can help it. You have to trust me. You need to let this one go. This case is bigger than you understand. Let Shakira go. What? I was going to let Shakira go. Now it feels like it's weird to let her go. Why are you making it weird? Like, -@-.com? You just... You're bad at your job. Okay, so I want to know more about that scar. Tell me about your social contacts. Like I said, my life only settled down to normal a few weeks ago. I don't really have any friends yet. Dr. Hughes has been kind enough to me, and I get along well with my social worker. I like to walk around and see the city, you know, when there aren't sandstorms. Sandstorms. All right. Okay, so I don't want to necessarily ask most of the rest of these questions. So the thing is, I don't have her diary. How do I read her diary? It's like I keep threatening to read it. I didn't go so far as to say oh, it's right here. Oh my gosh, it's just right there. Property of Shakira Barber. What the cover says. This is not a diary. This will either be a record of me building a better life out of scraps and hope, or they'll find this next to my dead body. If you find this, my name is Shakira Barber. So that she started this on February 12th. Okay. Some Citizens Patrol Ascons nearly roughed me up today. They were looking for a fight. I didn't get hurt. My ID checked out because of course it did, like I told them it would. The sooner I get out of this place, the better. A Citizens Patrol. That sounds creepy. That's like people policing their own neighborhood for just undesirables. I dreamt about the hotel again. The hallways twisting and turning. I know which door I need to find. I can always feel it right ahead of me. It's around the next corner. What'll I find if I finally reach it and turn the handle? I'm out. I don't know if I'll ever process everything that happened in the jungle. I sure can't do it now. Amy really came through. I can't believe I got a spot at the SWD. This place isn't much, but it feels like paradise. Keep hearing... So she was in a place called the Jungle that had citizen patrols that were hassling her. In March, that's when Amy helped her. I keep hearing the name Oscar. Even on a busy street or shopping mall, I keep hearing it from somewhere. It's weird. That word cuts through the noise, rings in my ears somehow. Why Oscar? Did I know an Oscar once or something? Is it a celebrity on the tip of my brain? Is it Oscar Isaac and she was built in his his remote apartment? The fucking bureaucracy never stops. Back and forth to this undergrad office every time they need a different doc. I just keep not being able to decide if I'm saying the curse words or not. Sorry, everyone. Just need to do some tasks for this app. Pick up trash, do a first responder triage shift, do a citizen patrol shift. Oh, so there's an app that sends people on citizen patrols. Weird. At least clocking these tasks is simple. Just submit the time and locate the CCTV. Location of CCTV confirms the rest. I guess it might make people do good for the community, but also WTF. Social tracking to-dos. Register at Citizen Services. Hollow count on devices. Okay. I shopped at the market today. All the produce made me think back to the farm when I was a girl. Nothing's grown in that dust for years, but what I wouldn't give for some food from honest God's soil. The stuff from the vertical farms is fine. It just tastes too clean. Food and dirt belong together. Interesting. When did it get impossible to meet people? Colton's tiny, so obviously everyone knows each other. I guess before I moved here, I expected a place with so many people that at least have a few I could get to know. I need to start managing my expectations better. Okay, so we're getting months in here. I started tango lessons. I always listened to that little voice. It's what brought me here. I swear the word was like glowing. Nothing else will be good exercise. So it does feel like there's something weird going on psychologically with her. She's hearing voices. She's having dreams about a hotel. Words seem to glow to guide her choices. I'll never figure out how I wound up working for a plastic surgeon of all things. And I'll always be thankful for this job, but Dr. Hughes is a dick! Oh, weird. She was expressing joy about having him as a friend, but now she's calling him a dick in her journal. Okay, does this change my choices? Okay, there's nothing new here. I don't want to reveal my purpose. I don't think she has gaps. I think that she doesn't want to talk about the scar. They are multidimensional. Wait, discussing their past specifically, though. Hold on a second. Let's double check this. She does have complex emotions about present things. When we go back to when we were talking about her past, family was all sad, sad, sad. Disgust, disgust. Fear, fear. Parents was 100% disgust. Okay. Her first complicated emotion was about being holed up in the jungle recently. Okay, I might have misread that. I thought that I had seen a spike, the right kind of spike about her past, but it wasn't about her past. It was about her recent past. Like I don't think we have any doubt that since she entered Silicon Valley, she's been on CCTV. We know that she's, we can follow her movements there. It's whether she really came from Colton. That's the question. So I can't. So no, she has one-dimensional responses to her past. Interesting. Her appearance has been altered. No, I haven't. Okay, so now... Okay. Now I'm in a weird zone. Because I was convinced that she was human. And that releasing her was just doing a good thing. Now I suspect she might be an android. Huh. Yeah, so... By the way, Stealthy Assassin is pointing out that email address from the mysterious person who told me to release her is not a valid email address. Oh, I totally understand that, yeah. I think it's... I don't know. Maybe it's somebody who's just hacked the system in such a way that it makes it look like they've got a crazy impossible email address, or maybe they just use an impossible email address, so it's like a 555 number, so that we're not just sending emails to some random address all the time. So now I came into this deciding that I was going to do the right thing by the company, but I think what? I think I can make a case. Because of my original misapprehension of her. This is what I was thinking. I didn't think it was a genuine memory gap. And I thought that she was having multi-dimensional reactions. So... this was what I was going to say. Until I looked back at her memories of her past, and I realized that actually the ones that were about her past were single-dimensional. So I... now suspect that she is an android, has been given this tragic past to fool this test, and also someone's really invested in her keeping her out. So I think she's an android, and I think that I am violating my mandates by releasing her. But so I came to this thinking I'm just going to do this honestly and do the work that I've been assigned to do. And I got so close to doing exactly this action, meaning it, But actually, it was the weird message from the hacker that set me off. It's like, okay, it seems like there's more to this, and I started looking deeper, and I realized she probably is an android. But I think I'm still going to release her, so I'm going to go against my original plan. I think I am going to release her. Oh, Jedi Centrix points out she lied about Dr. Hughes. That's true. Because she acted like he was a friend and she doesn't like him. Okay, let's submit this. And see what happens. Ah ha ha ha! And now we got the upsell to the full game because this was just a demo. So, awesome. Well, I guess we'll all have to discover that together by buying the game at some point. Yeah, that's Silicon Dreams. You can tell it's deliberately trying to evoke Blade Runner, right? With the camera on the eyeball. Just the phrase Silicon Dreams, it makes you think of, do androids dream of electric sheep, which is the original Philip K. Dick story that Blade Runner was based on. They're exploring a really, really interesting angle. one of the things that you're often doing, like when you're developing a new idea for a video game, is you grab an idea from the ether, something something people have experienced in some other way that's never been a game before, like those interrogation sequences in the Blade Runner movies, and you take something like that and you're like, can I make this experience in a way that a player can actually not just sort of go through the motions of the experience, seeing it the same way you see it in a movie, but can they experience it? Can they actually experience it the way, obviously not exactly the way that people in real life would, because, I don't actually have anything at stake here. It's just a video game. But get as close as I can to the incentives, to the kinds of decision-making that goes on. Can we make this happen? Papers, Please did a great job of that. And this one is doing a really good job of it too. I am going to go buy the full game and see, and see what experiences I can have here. But for right now, though, we should wrap up the video that I'm making right now. So those of you who are watching me live, I am planning on going and playing at least one more game before we quit. But those of you who are watching me later on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel by hitting that button. I'll put some other weird games over here, so you can click on some of those. And yeah, I kind of can't wait to see where this game goes.